Good morning. I'm Michelle Scott. I am a member of the board of directors with the WSO and chair of the marketing committee. It is my privilege to welcome you all to the Capitol Theater today, those of you who are here in person and also those of you who are watching us online. I feel like I should say welcome back to the Capitol Theater. It's been so long. It is an exciting day for the WSO. The last time our orchestra sat on this stage and played for a live audience was February the 13th, 2020. So that is 18 months ago, and they were 18 long months where a lot happened, a lot of changes. And here to tell us about where we were, what happened during that time, and where we're headed in the future is our music director, Robert Franz. Robert?
Good morning, everyone. It has been a crazy 18 months, but I couldn't be prouder of the musicians of the WSO, the staff, and the board as we pivoted and created our first digital concert series last fall, as well as creating kids' concerts that were digitally sent into your homes, as well as creating an set of education programs that were digitized that went out to over 120,000 students around North America. The orchestra has been everywhere. We've been performing in healthcare centers and in retirement communities. We've been online, and we've done everything that we can to stay connected with you. But and none of this, by the way, could have happened without the support of the Ontario Trillium Foundation. We're grateful for their work and their support of our efforts. Now, 18 months is a very long time to go without a live audience, and I'm happy to announce today that we will be inviting live audiences back into our home, the beautiful Capitol Theater, in just a few short weeks. The Capitol Theater is a very special place, and in fact, we're celebrating our 100th anniversary, and we couldn't be happier to do it with you sitting in the seats and us up on stage performing. Now, we're going to divide our season into 3 parts. This morning, I'm going to share with you our fall season. We will have a winter season and a spring season. We divide it up into 3 parts so that we can respond to whatever comes down the road at us. If there's nothing we've learned through COVID, is that we have to be flexible and nimble. This morning, I'll share with you our fall season. Later on this fall, I'll be sharing the winter and spring seasons. There are going to be 2 ways to experience the WSO. One is live here in the theater, as I mentioned. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, well, how is that going to work exactly? Let me share with you a few ideas of how that will happen. First of all, we will be limiting the size of the audience. We will not be filling the house. In fact, we'll be at a smaller percentage of seats filled. You will be, when you come into the hall, socially distanced from your neighbors, so you'll be sitting in pods around the theater. And there will be requirement of masks and vaccinations in order to come into the theater and enjoy the orchestra live. If for any reason that's not the way that you want to watch or participate with the WSO, we will be live streaming all 6 concerts simultaneously as we perform them live here on stage. So you can watch them here in our home or at your home, your choice. Now, what's really cool is that if you come and see the orchestra live, you will then have access, if you want to watch the concert again, in your home. Those concerts will be up and accessible to you through December 31st. So we begin at the end of September with our Temperament Masterworks concerts. There are 3 of them this year. A couple of things will be different, in addition, of course, to whether you can watch them at home or here in our home. First is that we will be collaborating with the Art Gallery of Windsor in each one of the concerts. We have been invited to go down into the vaults to see some of the collection that isn't normally seen, and we're going to take a look at artworks in the art gallery that are inspired by the same inspirations that inspired the concert music that you will hear on stage. So for instance, our first concert, Music of Italy, you will see artworks that were either painted by Italian, Canadian composers or inspired by Italy. It's really going to be a fun way to sort of explore and see artworks that we don't normally get to see. The second change with the Temperament Masterworks is in order to have more people live in our theater, we are going to double the concerts. So we'll not only perform Saturday night at 7:30, the concert that will also be live streamed, we will also perform again the same program the Sunday right after at 2:30. So you can see it live either Saturday night or Sunday afternoon. We begin, as I mentioned just a second ago, on September 25th and 26th with the music of Italy. The very first set of pieces that will be played will be by a composer named Gabrielli, and he is a 16th century Venetian composer who wrote for St. Mark's Basilica in Venice. And he wrote with the idea of the space in mind, the sound. And so he created these pieces to be stereo. So there will be some brass players on stage and brass players up in the balcony, and they will be speaking to each other musically in these first two pieces. We'll then go to Naples for a piece by Piccini. It's an overture of his. Then the work that inspired the whole program. It's called the Botticelli Triptych, and it's by an Italian composer named Ottorino Respighi. And each one of the movements is inspired by one of Botticelli's masterworks. This is the piece that inspired our conversations and our collaboration with the Art Gallery of Windsor. Finally, we end with a work by a Russian composer, Igor Stravinsky, probably one of the most famous works that was inspired by the Italians, and it is his suite from Pulcinella. October 23rd and 24th, we perform a concert that we call World Folk Music. It will feature a Chinese-Canadian composer, Alexina Louis, her music for a celebration, as well as Canadian composer John Burge. He wrote a suite called the Upper Canada Fiddle Suite. And this is a work that incorporates folk music from our very own area here in Ontario. Finally, we finished that program with a suite by a composer named Manuel de Falla, a Spanish composer. It's his El Amor Brullo suite, or Bewitched Love. And it's actually the suite that includes a work that you're going to recognize, his Ritual Fire Dance. It also includes some Spanish songs, some really spicy Spanish songs. And so we are bringing in Sophie Rowland. Sophie is a mezzo-soprano. She teaches at Western in London, and she is a world-renowned singer, an incredible musician, and exactly the right person for these songs. Finally, we finished the third of our 3 Temperament Masterworks concerts on November 20th and 21st with music inspired by the bard himself, by Shakespeare. We'll do music that was inspired by Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet. In addition, we will have a couple of actors on stage joining us, and they will do small snippets from each of those plays. Music of David Diamond, his music from Romeo and Juliet, as well as Shostakovich's incidental music to Hamlet. The Toldo Pop season opens up on October 2nd and 3rd. Joining us for that concert will be Shakira Saida. Shakira is a blues singer. She lives right here in Ontario, and she has put together this program called the First Ladies of Soul. It will rock the house. She is an incredible musician, and you may recognize her when you see her, if you haven't seen her perform with orchestra, because she actually appeared in seasons 2 and 3 of the popular show Schitt's Creek. She was a member of a group called the Jazza Gals. She was the one who could really sing. It was pretty awesome seeing her on there. October 30th and 31st, we celebrate Halloween together, but Broadway style. We'll be singing music. Well, I won't be singing. You'll be happy to know. Music from Sweeney Todd, Little Shop of Horrors, and the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And joining us will be the talented young singers from St. Clair College Music Theater Department. Partnerships have always been and will continue to be a vital part of who we are at the Windsor Symphony Orchestra, and working with St. Clair College students is one of the things that I look forward to most each year. Finally, on December 18th and 19th, we will finish our fall pop series with our traditional holiday pops. Yes, we'll have a visitor from the north, but we will also have 4 talented singers from the Abridged Opera Company led by Aaron Armstrong, who will sing with the orchestra. Those are our 2 main series that will be performed this fall. Each of those concerts will be live or live streamed, your choice. In addition to that, we'll be performing 2 of our concerts for kids. Now, we've renamed them family concerts to more accurately describe These programs, which are designed for kids age 4 to 10, but also parents and grandparents. This is the kind of concert you bring your young ones to, and you experience the Windsor Symphony with them and enjoy it together. October 16th is the first of these concerts, and it will be a musical retelling of Nicholas Oldland's book, Walk on the Wild Side. This concert and the second in the series will be led by our associate conductor, Daniel Wiley. And Daniel is brilliant at bringing together children's stories and music on the stage here. Finally, on November 27th, we will show on the screen and perform the music underneath to the British animated film, The Snowman, one of my favorites. Now, none of this entire fall would be possible without our sponsors, so we want to thank the granting agencies, our season sponsors, and particularly you, Windsor-Essex, our community, for sticking with us through the last 18 months and for being so supportive of us as we look forward. Now, as a reminder, each one of the Temperament Masterworks and the Toldo Pops are available to come live here at the Capitol Theater or to live stream at your home. So there's only one question left, really. Is it going to be our home or yours? I can't wait to see you back at the Capitol Theater. Thank you. And I'm happy to take any questions that you all might have.